We need to talk about what finished strong in 2019 and what we're looking at for the Academy Awards. Yeah. And so around the table, I just said, hey, what's the first movie you want to talk about?
Brad Pitt.
No,
that's
not Brad Pitt.
Once it's a movie in my life.
Yeah, oh, so you want, I thought you were going to go Ad Astra.
No, although Brad Pitt made that movie decent, okay? It wasn't Tommy Lee Jones.
After you see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you'll understand why Brad Pitt wasn't really out there tooting the horn for Ad Astra.
No.
All right, how do you think it did?
I think the fact that that movie came out in July and we're still talking about it proves how incredible that movie really is. Most people forget about movies over the summer when it comes time to Oscar nominations, and people are still talking about it because it's that good. It's one of Tarantino's best.
Yep.
What I knew this was going to be a huge hit when people my age were leaning into it that remembered the Helter Skelter murders. People your age leaned into it because they love everything Tarantino had done. My teenage sons were into it. All of their friends are into it.
Yep.
So, I mean, it spans every generation.
Women,
everybody flocked to
men,
this.
age, doesn't matter, anything. You'll love this movie, I'm telling you. I think it's one of Quentin Tarantino's best.
I think overall, 2019 was a really good year, though, for film.
I think so, too.
Coming up with the top 5 is hard this year. Whereas last year it was really easy. This year it's really difficult to come up with a top 5. But I got to put Jojo Rabbit at number 1.
Oh, that's what I was
loved it.
Exactly.
Love that movie.
So why did you love that movie?
It has all of the feels, and to make a movie that is relatively funny about Hitler, Taika Waititi pulled that off, and it was so good.
Kelly caught up with the cast to talk to them about this. That's the first time I heard about this movie, and she said, we'll be talking about it at Oscar time. Indeed we are. Take a look.
We had a pretty casual set. I mean, even though we obviously there was a heaviness of some of the drama in this film, but Taika's really playful, and so I think the director kind of sets the tone, and then you see kind of how you can be on set. Yeah, and what'd you say?
You kind of have to stick with that. You kind of have to keep up with the level of Taika.
Yeah, that's true. Taika's like the goofiest of all of us, so we were just catching up all the time.
Those kids. You can tell that she has mad love for those co-stars of her.
I know, and she was phenomenal in this.
Yep.
Why don't people use her comically like Taika did in this movie? I'm telling you, she nailed this role. You love her so much, and I cried so hard, not to plot spoil, but
I
she
can
is
see her
so good.
getting nominated for supporting for that.
Yes, 100%.
And actress for Marriage Story.
I think it's going to happen.
100%.
Yeah.
There's a lot of double
Yeah.
double noms for double movies with everyone.
What about Irishman? Where does that sit in your top 5?
It's not in my top 5.
Me either.
I know.
Just because it's Martin Scorsese, it almost should be. It almost should be, but I agree with you.
Are you kidding me?
It is a good film. It's great to watch once. But
Very
then
long.
it has this anticlimactic ending. And I know not sometimes things.
Well, they couldn't Tarantino it up. Like
No,
Tarantino would
they
just have everybody kill everybody.
I was talking to friends of mine who love it, and they were like, well, sometimes real life doesn't have the Hollywood ending. And I said, well, then sometimes maybe those stories don't deserve the Hollywood treatment.
Oh. Whoa, it's like that? I mean, I would put it in my top 10, but not top 5.
I would
just
do that
because
too.
of the cast and the star power of Martin Scorsese, and the fact that this was a Netflix film is mind-boggling to me. Netflix is right up there with everyone else right now.
Yeah, look, between that and Marriage Story, I think you're going to have a very good year. I
Netflix,
like Martin Scorsese films. Like, I'm mad at him because he said that essentially Marvel movies aren't real movies. So I'm still angry at him.
Yeah.
Yet
He said
still, it's in my top 3.
Top 3?
I sat down with Robert De Niro to talk about it and squirmed a little bit.
What's the best thing about reteaming with the group that made this possible?
Well, it was the hope that we could do it. You know, Al playing Hoffa, Joe playing Buffalino, and Marty directing it. Me playing Frank. It was, it was a long haul, but finally we got it done.
Segueing on to something that I guarantee the world is going to agree on. When you see 1917, you're going to know that you've seen a movie unlike anything you've ever seen before. It is one of the most intriguing war movies I've ever seen. It's one of the most integrated war movies. You feel completely immersed in this movie, yet it's not the bloodiest of all war movies.
No, not even close. Watching 1917 is like watching a magic trick because they did only a few takes or shots that are so long on such an epic scale, and you're like, How did they do that? I don't know how they did that.
You have to watch it twice, because I say watch it once to get the whole shebang, and you're in the trenches. It's a visceral experience. It's like a video game. You're like so stressed out for these two boys. It's insane. See it big screen.
That's right.
You have to.
Okay, now I'm about to drop something maybe controversial. In my top 10, I also have the movie Us.
That's not controversial. That should be in the top 5 even.
Nope.
No.
No.
Oh, go.
What?
You're dismissed. You're dismissed.
I didn't like the ending. Doesn't make sense in that.
You have to be smart.
Oh, then you just don't get it.
I
You
guess
just
I
get
don't.
it,
Yeah, you
Gavin.
probably didn't like Cats.
I kind of, I
No.
kind of felt like that was how he ended it was like so there, and it's like no, not so there. I don't understand that.
I
There's
liked
a couple end scenes to
I
kind
like
of
the
wrap things
concept.
up.
I like that it's a movie that inspires these greater discussions. I know so many people who love this movie who will still talk about it that don't understand it.